everyone, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I'm here to give you the quick tea on luxury makeup. Although today's video, like most of my videos, are probably not going to be short, because today's video is I'm going to talk about my faves of 2023. So let me first start off by saying Happy New Year, everybody. You know, it is officially 2024. I know I'm a little bit late with this video, but I figured first week of January still counts. So let's take this moment to reflect on the past year, 2023. I figure what I'll do is I'll go through all the different categories of my makeup, all my faves, give you a quick blurb of what I think about each one, why I love them so much, and there's just a lot to talk about, so let's just get to it, okay? First category, blush. I feel like this year was the year of blush. I've always been team blush. I've always been a girl who loves blush. But I think also the brands this year really came through in terms of this category. So I figured that would be the best category to start. As I go through each category, I'm going to have several items in each of the categories. I'll try to pick out my fave in each category if I can. So in the blush category, I'm looking down, you can't see, I'm looking down at my table that has all the products I have out here. What I would say is my number one blush is Chanel, and specifically this one. This is the Beige Rose et Mauve, and this shade, I mean, number one, obviously, Chanel embossing. We always give Chanel props for embossing. They win in that category always, hands down. And I'm going to tell you, I have been using this blush a lot. I even used it today, very lightly, but I used it today. I use this blush a lot. Now, in terms of embossing, it might be still hard for you to see. There were these like fall leaves. And at this point, it is starting to go away. Some of the leaves are still there. But the embossing that will always remain, which is great, is the CCs. So that will actually go through. And it's beautiful, that mix of those two shades on my cheeks. I love it. Like today I didn't even put like highlighter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even need it. Like, and I'm a highlighter girl, but like, this is so beautiful, you can get away with it. So this would be my number one, because number one, obviously the embossing, but number two, I love this shade. It's a unique shade to my collection. I mean, I do love purple and mauve blushes to begin with, but I still think it holds a special place in my collection. And then I do love the Chanel formula. Talking about that, I can't ignore the other one. I didn't just buy one, I bought two. Okay, so the other one was Beige et Coral, so the coral one, and I love this one too. You know, I'm just someone who loves purple makeup, so I, have an affinity to the purple one, and also given my skin tone, it was the deeper of the two. This does show up, so don't worry, I still use this one a lot too. So Chanel wins for me for blushes, but they weren't the only one. So let's talking about purple, and let's talk about pigmentation. Let us talk about Danessa Myricks. This is the one and only cream blush that I have this year. You know, a couple years ago, I was really big into cream blushes. Those of you who follow me on Instagram saw that I decluttered on my beloved LYS Tower 28 blushes. I just found myself not really into cream blushes. But this is the one cream blush that I did use this year and do love. And what you have to give it up for Danessa is, number one, look how beautiful this color. You know, I love berries, but it's pigmented. This, you have to dip and just go tap. I mean, I'm telling you, tap and then spread out with your brush. Don't go crazy on this. This is so pigmented, and we love her for that. Now, in terms of a blush that is soft, I mean, it's pigmented, but compared to Danessa, much softer, is Gucci. Now, one of my faves from last year was the shade Warm Berry. Told you, love berries. So this year, I got a new shade from them, and it was Soft Red, which I think is a funny name because it actually looks more corally. It's like a reddish orange, but this is a beautiful shade. And then, you know, packaging. I love this. This is so cute, and it's easy to travel with if you wanted to travel, and it's just beautiful, beautiful packaging. So love, love, love. Sticking in, of course, luxury, but then we have to talk about Dior, and I got 3 of these. So these are the Rosy Glow blushes. So number 1, the most unique, which I was so excited for, is Mahogany, this brown blush. And this was beautiful because it's right on that fence between it being a blush and being a bronzer, and you could get away with, like, you know, just wearing this by itself. So this was just so unique, and I give them props for actually coming out with this shade, because obviously us girls of deeper skin tones were super excited to see this. I told you I love berry, I love purple, so of course I got the berry one. So I did get the purple blush, and you can see I've been loving these blushes because the embossing, it's still there, but you can tell that I've been using these blushes. And then this third one, I was so scared to buy this one because I wasn't sure if it was going to show up. And then a dear, dear friend got this for me for my birthday, and I was so happy. And especially because it does show up on me. It's a great, like, natural flush to my face, especially if I'm doing maybe a lighter makeup look, more natural look. This is beautiful, and this is Rosewood. So these 3 shades, I will say, are brown girl friendly. So love that. Sticking with talking about pigmentation, let's go talk about pigmentation. We talked about Danessa. The other brand that definitely wins in terms of pigmentation is Haus Labs. Haus Labs, I got these 2, and I give it up for that they came out with shades that are bright, pigmented, and unique. So look at these shades. So I got Watermelon Bliss and Lavender Blonde. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I was really happy to add these to my collection. So that was great. Suku, you know I love Suku. This came right at the end of the year. For those who just saw my last video, yep, they snuck in right in the last month of the year, but I had to still put them in. Number 144. This is a beautiful blush and highlighter from Suku. I was using this a lot this month. So those are all my favorite single blushes, but I did want to also include some face palettes. So number one face palette goes to Hourglass. This Snake palette. Now I own some already, you know, ambient lighting unlocked palettes. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Out of all the, I have like 3 other ones, 2 or 3 other ones. This is my favorite. They all work for me, so that's key. But it's about these blushes here. This coral shade is so pretty. I think it's prettier than the shades that had come in the previous ones. They actually show up on me. If I'm going for a lighter, no makeup look, like a lighter makeup look, then I'll just go into just this one. If I, you know, going for a more fuller look, then I'll go with this blush. I can use them together. If I want to make it more radiant, you can use this alone or add this on top. You can use all of them together and it'll work. It will work. Highlighter, gorgeous. Face powder, and then this I can even use actually as finishing powder, like, you know, under my eyes in the T-zone. So this I had a lot of use for, and this is actually my favorite ambient lighting unlocked that they've come out so far. So this one, she that girl. You know my love affair for Chanel, so I had to put Chanel. And you know, this might not be everybody's favorite. I'm gonna be honest, and I recognize that this might not be everybody's favorite, and I know why. I can list the cons, but I have to be honest with myself. You can see how dirty this is because I'm constantly using it. So I was like, I can't not put it in my face because I reached for this palette way too much this year to not call it one of my faves. So what I would say is, and I've always been honest about this, if I was talking about individually, like if they had only come out with these blush slash eyeshadows on their own, I would say no, don't bother. Individually, it's not necessarily the best blush formula. It's not necessarily the best eyeshadow formula. But they do just enough in both categories. And so what I've come to find, I'm not going to use this when I'm doing a full glam look. That's not what this is for. This is about creating a quick look. When I am, as a mom, you know, I'm in my 40s. I have children who I'm constantly having to chauffeur. I'm their chauffeur because I have to drop them to this sports practice, that sports practice. And so I need to just quickly, I'm just trying to get my face together so that I just don't look dead. I look just good enough as I'm dropping off. And if I happen to bump into somebody, I won't look crazy. So when I'm really not really trying to do much, but I need to do a little something, I go in, I'll like put this, sweep this over the eyes. I'll probably use this on the lid and inner corner. This is a great highlighter. I'll use that as highlighter. This I'll use as blush. And I can whip together a quick just look just so that I just have a natural flush to my face. And it's just so convenient. So I had this on my bathroom counter all year long, and it was just like, without thinking, of like, oh, I gotta quickly do my look together, I'd grab it and go. So I know it's expensive. I'm not telling you that it's the best formula out there, but these were just the right shade for my skin tone. I know, like I said, I know also for some fairer skin tones, red is not the most fave colors, but these actually work well on me. It's like a natural flush kind of color. It's not stark red. So this was just out of convenience. This was actually a fave face palette. And then last category, I just want to say highlighter. I'm a girl who loves highlighter, but this year I think I only bought one, but she deserves to be in the list because this Precious Coral, love. Not only is, of course, once again, Chanel wins for embossing, but the formula is beautiful. I love this shade. There was a golden one that I know would have been beautiful, but I passed on it because I already have some golden highlighters from them. This color was unique to my collection because it's a coral, but it's also a little bit cool tone. Not too cool tone, but it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So these were my favorite blushes, face palettes, and highlighters of 2023. All right, second category is lipstick. I love a good lipstick. Now, a couple years ago, I was all about matte lipstick, and clearly I still am. But this lipstick that's on my lips, just giving you a heads up, is not from 2023. But I have a feeling it's going to show up in the 2024 faves lips next year. I'll give you a hint. It's Prada. Just letting you know, that video is coming up. I got the foundation and the lipstick, so we got a whole video will be dedicated to that. But let's stick to 2023. I still use matte lipsticks, but I was about lip oils and lip glosses and lip shines and just, much more moisturizing lipsticks. I was actually fine with things being more sheer and not ultra pigmented at all times. The gold standard for me that started off my whole year, and I guess my fave product would have been the Dior Glow Lip Glow Oil. And as you can see, yeah. So it's time for me to get a new one. I dragged this out as long as possible. This for me was like the gold standard. So everything I bought after that, I was always just trying to compare it to this. The Dior Glow Lip Oil was that girl. I could go through this quickly. This I love. Now, it's an alternative because this stuff is expensive. Like, she's like $40 something. She ain't cheap. Now, I got two other alternative brands that are much more affordable that I think have very comparable formulas. I would say Clarins. I got a sample of this, and I'd be willing to buy a whole bottle of this. It's just a little bit cheaper, still expensive. This one's like more like 30 bucks. They have very similar, the quality of both of these are great. I'd say the Dior, the one thing I'm going to say Dior compared to the rest, just on a side note, it has a little bit of a peppermint tea kind of smell. Not a strong peppermint tea, and there's no stinging with this or any of that kind of stuff. Versus the rest have more fruity smell. So the Clarins is very sweet. This is a very, very sweet smelling, but both very moisturizing, and they are last long. If you need something really affordable, then I say go with the NYX. This is drugstore, and this is actually also very comparable, and it's like maybe $10, you know, maybe, you know, so like, you know, at most like a fourth of the price. And these ones are sweet, but it has a similar doe foot. Like, you can really tell they were trying to, you know, come for Dior. So it has a similar doe foot as this. So if you're willing to give up the luxury packaging and are all about saving your coins, and I say go for NYX, because the formula is close enough, and the price difference is worth it. For those of us bougie girls, you know, Dior, she that girl, and Clarins is actually just as good as well. So those are my favorite lip oils for 2023. So now let's get into more, I guess, lip shines or so forth. So YSL came through this year. Actually, you know what? Let me finish up with Dior, because since we're talking about Dior, this is a carryover from 2022. I bought a couple of these lip shines, and then I did it again in 2024. That love continued. I got a couple of these cases, love. In the same family, which was new, or at least not new to me. It might not have been new in 2023, but it was new to me in 2023, is YSL. These candy lip gloss sticks. You know, and one of my girls was like, you gotta try these. And I was tempted, and then she told me try it. Oh, she was so right. The best one, you know what, I haven't been swatching any of these. I will swatch this. So, this is, I think, the most popular shade, even amongst fair-skinned women. I found everybody loves Scenic Brown. Obviously, it's brown girl friendly, but trust me, I find everyone seems to love this shade, and it's just so nice because it's thick. Not to say it's like too thick, but it's got some thickness to it, so it's still got some color to it. It's long lasting, it's moisturizing. It just feels so great on the lips. So I got that one. And also shade number 3, which is more red toned, but love, love, love. This, I mean, this was a contender for being my favorite lip product of the year. Similar product is the Rouge Coco Bloom. This is not a new formula, but I did get the shade that did come out in this year, which was 160. And this shade, you already know I love berries. So this, oh, love the shade, and I love Coco Bloom formula. So if you like the Dior Addict Lip Shines, if you like the YSL candy gloss sticks, you're gonna love Rouge Coco Bloom. Let's continue with Chanel, because I got 2 more Chanels to talk about. This was Rouge Allure Extrait, and this was also a new shade. This was Roaring Purple. This, you know, you can tell what kind of colors I like, but this, so pretty, so pretty. And packaging, Chanel, you know what I mean? Like, she does that. Look at this. I mean, I don't have to explain. I don't. Look at this. She wins just for packaging alone. Now this is actually Chanel's matte formula. This is a Rouge Allure Velvet. It's not matte like this matte, but you know, it's Chanel's version of matte. We'll have another discussion about Chanel's formula. But this, Rapturiste, beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, obviously I picked a lot of berry tones this year. You know, probably if I had done a video a year or 2 ago, there would have been a lot more, probably a lot more browns. I still love my neutral and cool tone browns, but this year I bought, yeah, I'm looking. It was all berry this year. Color theme for this year was berry. Talk about bougie. Hermes. Look, she expensive, but she's that girl. Oh my goodness. So, number 1, obviously, packaging. Packaging. Okay? Okay. So then, this shade. I know, with the berry theme, but these are my colors, and I love this. It's not, it is, you know, very moisturizing. It's not, you know, gives you beautiful shine. This is clearly not matte at all, but I love it. It's easygoing. I can just reapply anytime, and it's gorgeous. This, you know, this is like, hopefully, I think it's still available, but this is, I believe, limited edition. So by the end of the year, this won't be around. So I'm just saying, you know, if you could catch a sale or something, I think I ended up using my Bloomingdale points or something to get this. I didn't pay full price, but I have zero regrets. This was a love. This was my favorite for all the holiday parties. I'm telling you, everything's purple and plum. It just is what it is. The Dior liquid, the Forever liquid lipsticks. This is the sequin finish. You probably should have already seen my video, but number one, just look how gorgeous this is. And then you let this sit on your lips 5 minutes, and then you purse your lips together, and then you will get some sparkles. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, coming back to lip glosses. I got a few more lip glosses I don't want to skip over. The beginning year, Lisa Eldridge. You know, we love her for her matte lipsticks. But I was very happy that she added both Sorcery and Decade shades to her lip gloss formula. So it's not a new formula, but these were new shades in 2023. For all of us brown girls, we needed this. These shades, especially this one, this is my go-to, but both of these, we needed these two. So I thank you, Lisa, for that. You could see similar kind of concept. This is Victoria Beckham's Posh Gloss. This is in poolside and top down. I just leave these in my work purse. These are the ones that just stay in my purse, and just whenever I need it, it's just not a thought. It just forever lives in my purse for work. All right. 2 more lipsticks. LYS. I love LYS. I know I was talking about decluttering their cream blushes, and not because they were bad. I actually thought they had like the best cream blush formula at that time. It was just they were old, and I'm just moving on from clean brushes. But I'm not moving on from the brand. I love the brand. They had come out with lipstick. This was new to them to do lipstick. Number one, can we appreciate the packaging? You know I love packaging. We love Chanel and all of this, but you can get still beautiful packaging at a much affordable price. This formula is great, and it's just so sleek. I love this. This formula is great. So I got the shade Moody. So this is a more brown tone, neutral, cool tone brown tone. And then I had a fun one called Optimistic. So this is more of a fun shade, more of a pinker shade. I love these. They go on so creamy and smooth, but they're matte and they are pigmented. I'll be looking to see what shades you come up with this year, LYS, because you might pop up on the list again if you get some nice shades. Love these two. Continue with LYS. Well, of course they had to have lip liners. So I bought 2 corresponding lip liners. Devoted. You know, we always need a brown tone shade. And Rise Above. You know, we always need a burgundy, plummy shade. Those paired well, both with the lipsticks. And I appreciate the shape, this triangular shape. You know, they do everything triangles, but this is ergonomic, you know, in terms of how you hold, you get a good grip. It always was perfect in terms of lining. So I actually love the shape. It actually was practical and functional. And then I love the colors. I love the formula. So these will go to. And 2 more liners I just want to show you is Makeup Forever. These are not new. And to be honest, Limitless Brown was a repurchase, but I don't care. She was my go-to brown. I actually need to sharpen this, but this was a go-to brown. If you are a medium deep skin tone, you have to own Makeup Forever Limitless Brown. You know which one we have to have from MAC. You know which one we had to have from ColourPop. Well, this is the one you have to have from Makeup Forever. If you are my skin tone, you have to have this. It just, I repurchased. That answers it, right? So then this year I was like, well, let me get a new shade. This is Dimensional Dark Brown. This is a unique shade that I was really happy to add. As you can see, it's much deeper and it's a cooler tone. It's hard to get a color this shade. You know, this is a must-have. It truly is Limitless Brown, but obviously this is the shade that most people come out with brown liners, that kind of warm neutral brown. I can only think of one other brand off the top of my head that gives me a similar feel to this one. Nima, we gotta thank Nima Tang. It was a collab with Dose of Colors. It's called Chocolate Chip. Still love that one. That is the deepest cool tone brown I can find, and this is the only other one that I know of. I'm sure there are others, but it's just hard to find a color of this tone. So especially if you're my skin tone or deeper, especially if you're deeper, you need this shade. You need it. Okay, so that is the lip category. We're moving on. All right, next category is complexion. Now, in this category, I'm gonna cheat because I didn't buy too many new complexion items this year. I tried my best to try not to buy too much more complexion. I wanted to work on finishing what I have. And so most of these, I'm actually going to just tell you what I've been loving the most for the year, for 2023. I'll point out which ones are new, but I'm going to tell you the majority of the products I'm about to show you are not new from 2023. And a lot of them aren't even new to me. So I'm just telling you my faves. That's how I decided complexion was just gonna go. You know, because especially anyway, I'm new to YouTube. So it's not like you guys know what my true faves are. Unless you follow me on Instagram, then you already know. But hey, let's do this. So let's talk about foundation. So this was a category in particular where I was trying not to buy new foundations. So the only item that I got that truly came new in 2023 is Fenty. Yes, Fenty. You know, I'm a luxury girl, and the majority of the products I'm going to show you are true luxury items. But Fenty, I love this product. I'm telling you right now. You know, I know not everybody loves their complexion products. I was one of the ones who actually did. I was one of the ones who could actually find their perfect shade that got me. You know, I know they were not the first one to come out with 40 shades. I know. We know MAC. We know all the other brands that came before Fenty. But for those of us that were getting into makeup around that time, that was a brand that for a lot of us whoosh, opened our eyes and said, oh, wow, I can actually find something that is not just my skin tone, but my undertone. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But this product right here, I'm not normally into stick foundations. I don't do stick foundations. Until Fenty, this product, it just, let me do it. It blends like a dream into my skin. It's just so lovely. It is light coverage. So this is, you know, I'm trying to do a quick look, but I have, you know what? You know, I would run out the door to do a quick no makeup look, but then later on I'd add some makeup later, and I could, you know, make a look even with this. So I loved it. It blended beautifully. It looks beautiful on my skin tone. So that was my fave, and that was a true new product. The rest aren't new. I'll tell you my ultimate faves, and I feel even bad showing you this because this is not available. My good friend got this for me because I actually had this prior year in the wrong shade, but this time I had it in my right shade, the perfect shade, 5N. And this, especially like when I had a wedding, I had a special event to go to, and I wanted to look what I felt was flawless and my best. She's that girl. You know, we shouldn't be saving just for special occasions, so I try to still just use it. But, you know, I am, you know, hey, this is not even available anymore, so I got to be sparing. So I tend to save this for special events, but love. This actually was a repurchase. I said to myself I wasn't going to buy new foundations this year. I had actually just emptied it at the beginning of the year, but I went to the CCO and they were selling it for like 70% off. I could not ignore that, so I bought it. They're still now doing another sale. couldn't help it. I have to buy it. If they keep putting it on sale, I have to get it. This is like my favorite matte foundation. This is what I use a lot at work. It's just flawless. I love this. My other fave product to use at work is Chanel. This is full coverage, or medium to full, but like I can get some full coverage. This will last. It says all day. It lasts all day. Okay? I work long hours. You know, I leave the house. I won't be back for 12 hours. This will last me the whole day. Chanel. Yeah, I'll pay the extra penny because she that girl. Now, when I want to just every day, I'm not at work now. I want things light and just, this is probably like my favorite foundation, period. Chanel #1. Bought this at Ulta. Clearly, I'm going to have to buy it again. I will. She's that girl. She's that everyday girl. And lastly, got to talk about Suku Cream Foundation. This is beautiful. I get compliments when I use this foundation, especially if you are like me, if you have dry skin, if you live in winter conditions. This cream foundation is fabulous. But I know even other girls who have oily skin, they seem to like it too. But I think this is especially great during the winter time, this foundation. So those are all my favorite foundations for 2023. Let's talk concealers. So in terms of what was new, coming back to Tom Ford, this one, Traceless Matte. You know, I already told you what my favorite foundation is, so then guess what? They had the matching. This concealer, you know, when this first came out, now, #1, you got to give it up for the packaging. Now, you don't get much product. Now, I've been using this a lot, so you're seeing it because I've been using this down. She's expensive. And, you know, when this first came out, I was questioning, do I really like it? I was like, you know, I was questioning the amount of coverage because I'm used to going full glam coverage. And I was like, oh, did I just waste my money? And then here I am. Look at me. Almost done with this thing. Oh, no. This thing, we were talking about Fenty just blending in and being, oh, this is a seamless blend. This, butter. You see it's gone? Okay? So, this is when I am doing a light makeup look, when I'm not trying to go full glam, this is my concealer. If I'm doing no makeup, light makeup looks, this is my go-to. It is perfection. Now, when I am doing my full glam look, in terms of what came out new, Natasha Denona. I'll give it up to her. She did it right with this high glam concealer. I got it in 12 and 13. Yes, she that girl. Now this one is a new formulation, so not new to me. I had emptied at the beginning of the year the original Dior Forever Concealer. And I decided, you know what, let me repurchase again, but they got new formula, so I was like, please, don't mess it up. They didn't. It's still just as good. So I still love her. Old formula, new formula. She that girl. Just want to show some old favorites just for the hell of it. A holy grail is Pat McGrath. I love her, MD26. Tom Ford again. I'm telling you, Shade and Illuminate. I love this concealer. I'm going to try to go to CCO and hopefully I can get this on sale again because, you know, I always be just trying to get sales for Tom Ford. So hopefully we can repurchase that. This is an empty actually, but I want to keep it out. And just something a little bit more affordable, like, you know, I guess more in the high-end category. But I got to give a shout out for Too Faced. Before I got into all this luxury stuff, Too Faced, I have to say, it is actually probably the most bang for your buck. And it's a fabulous concealer. Fabulous. It costs less than any other one that I showed you, and you get more product. It will take you forever to finish this. I'm trying my best to finish this. I can't finish this. Like every minute I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done. And every time I go, I'm nope, there's a little bit more left. There's a little bit more left, and you don't need much. You just need a dot because this gives you coverage. So for the most bang for your buck, winner is Too Faced. Everyday no makeup, Tom Ford. Please, even high glam, Tom Ford. So that is the winners for concealer. Ooh. One more thing for complexion, actually. I guess it's more of a skin tint, but I want to talk about this. So I want to show you an empty Chanel Water Fresh tint. I was clearly loving her in 2023. I emptied it, but instead of repurchasing her, I've now replaced her with Rose Inc. I want to bring this up just because this is a much affordable dupe. It works just like it. And what's great about Rose Inc., it has a better shade range. It actually is a little bit more coverage than this one. So to be honest, as much as I love her, this actually is probably a better dupe, more affordable and better. So I love her, but you know, actually I would say this is actually a great alternative to the Chanel Water Fresh tint. So those are my true foundation, skin tints, concealers. Let's talk about bronzers and powders. Okay. Tom Ford. You're going to find that Tom Ford is big in this category. My number one fave cream contour is Tom Ford. And I bring this up because this year I bought the new formulation. It came out last year, but I didn't buy it till this year because they reformulated. Clearly loved. I mean, let me tell you, I went through 2 of the old formulation. Now this third one is in the new formulation. The big difference is before this was like stark white. I still don't really use these kind of clear highlights, but if I wanted to, it does work nice on my skin tone. In general, you can see I don't really tend to use this. I'm really about this life. This one's even a little bit deeper than the previous one, but it works well. Blends like butter. Blends like butter. Tom Ford. I forgot to bring out, but I would say my second fave would be Danessa Myricks. Her cream bronzer is my second fave, but my number one is Tom Ford. So let's talk about powder bronzers in terms of what came out this year. Pat, Mama Pat. I got 2 shades and I like them both. So number one, probably my most used, my most loved is Bronze Mahogany. If I got a full glam look and I need to be chiseled, because I like mine kind of even be more like bronzer. I like when it's kind of like bronzer, but a little bit neutral, a little bit contour. This was my girl. I still appreciate it. I got Bronze Honey, Burnished Honey. This one was best I would use when I'm doing more of a no makeup look. So this was more of a natural bronze, a true bronze. It truly warmed up my face, but it was lighter. Where the Bronze Mahogany was deeper and had a little, you know, when I need to be snatched, Bronze Mahogany. I do want to say, so I'd say maybe this took the top 3 spot, but my top 2, just so you know, is Victoria Beckham bronzer. Love this girl. You can't tell, but this has been well loved. And probably my number 1, and you can tell, Dior. Yes, number 8. This is more neutral. I love a more neutral bronzer, so love that. Powders. This year, it came out in 2022, but I didn't buy it till 2023. This is the oversized Healthy Glow Sun Kiss powder in the shade Sun Bath Deep. Clearly well loved. I know a lot of fair skinned women use this as bronzer, but for me it's my all over powder. So when I use my cream bronzer, I will set it with Chanel, and yes, and I will scrape up all the sides of this. I will. My favorite under eye powder. Oh, let me the new favorite, one size. This was a surprise. Ultra Pink. Never in my life would I ever think pink for moi, my skin tone, pink. Yes. So yeah, this is actually really good. And it blurs when I'm doing full glam. It just, you won't believe it, but it works. I know for most of us, we tend to go for golden, and golden works for me. But this, I think especially maybe if you're more of a neutral girl, this is a fantastic powder. You know, my gold standard, my old fave and still fave is Mcgrath under eye powder, and I like it in the shade medium. Once again, I'm a golden neutral, and I've come to learn, back in the day, I was on the whole banana, everything was banana yellow and stuff like that, and that stuff works for me, it really does, but I came to realize actually I like more neutral powders. This is more light and sophisticated. I used it today. Blurs, and it's just sophisticated and beautiful. This one, I don't bake, but if you wanted to bake, you could bake with this. But you can also just lightly dust, because I don't like to go too heavy on powder. But yes. And for finishing powder, I have to, I don't buy much from this brand at all. But clearly, I'm using this all up. I will. This is actually my second one. This is from Chantecaille. This is a medium deep finishing powder. I love this. Hourglass would be my other fave finishing powder. And that is complexion. All right, guys. So I'm actually going to stop the video right here because I'm realizing I have a lot of makeup that came on to my collection in 2023, and it'd be too much to put into one video. I don't want to bore you. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this here, and then hopefully I'll see you in my part 2 video. That one, we will go over eyeshadow palettes, liners, brow products, skincare, makeup brushes, etc. It'll be good stuff for you that you really want to watch. So I'll see you over there, but thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. And also follow me on Instagram, Daps_makeup. And I will see you in part 2. Bye.